For today's lecture, part 3 of the lecture, I would like to reflect on kākau. Kākau, which is tattoo, and kākau in the relationship to ʻAUMAKUA. And symbols, symbols. So, my story. Back in 1972, I graduated from high school. And what I wanted to do to mark that rite of passage, in my mind, I wanted to get a kākau. I wanted to get a tattoo. Now, I want you to think back in 1972. Tattooing was not popular like it is today. Nobody was getting tattooed. In fact, people wrote about it, that there was nobody doing native Hawaiian traditional tattoo. I had a wonderful teacher who was filled with ike, that was Auntie Emma DeFries. So my kākau process, she guided that process. She guided what that first symbol was. She guided from beginning to end. Well, there were many people who wanted to learn the tradition of kākau that went to see Auntie Emma DeFries. And Auntie Emma very politely told them, I have a student, that's Kawaikapuokalani. She gave me that name, Kawaikapuokalani, with her mana, she gave me that name, Kawaikapuokalani, to protect me. And she said, I have a student that's Kawaikapuokalani, and if you want to know about tattooing, you should learn from him. Of course, that didn't make them happy because they wanted to learn from the master herself. But she had already made a choice, and I was that choice. So the people that started to do tattooing after that did not follow her lead, did not do as they were told, and that's all right. What is good is that I did. I stayed with my teacher for as long as I could. So, what is that relationship? Because I was interviewed in several articles about the meaning of the kākau, or the tattoo. The uhi. In fact, in one of the tattoo books, I submitted a chant, o ke kapu o ka uhi, a chant about the uhi, the tattoo, the kākau of the ohana of Kahekili and his brothers and the family. The uhi kākau is a kuleana or a tradition that belongs to those descendants. So, symbolism then related to ʻAUMAKUA is very, very important. And I think people, when they say, oh, what is your kākau? Oh, that's my ʻAUMAKUA. Whew, that's powerful, because if you're not in alignment with your ʻAUMAKUA, is that going to be a blessing or is that going to be a catastrophe? Because remember, when you say the name ʻAUMAKUA, or the word, right next to it is a word called PONO. Not Heva, PONO. And are you going to be, in order to honor your ʻAUMAKUA with all your kākau, are you going to maintain that PONO or not? That's a big kuleana to say, oh, this is my ʻAUMAKUA. Oh, wow. Then when you say that, I'm in my mind thinking, wow, that's big kuleana, that's big commitment, that's big dedication. Because nothing now that I say, gonna do, no action, no word, no deed, cannot but reflect everything about ʻAUMAKUA. Because if not, then maybe something would happen. And is something happening to our people, to our nation, because are we saying the right thing? Because if 1972 nobody was doing kākau, and then suddenly now we get this information of kākau, wow. No he mai kele ike. Because wa mamua o na kupuna I kele ike pila no ka kākau ana maluno ka ili, where did all of this suddenly come from? All these interpretations of what we're going to do. Yes, I know there is some that can be researched, but the deeper meanings, yeah, the depth. Kaike huna huna ia iloko o kali polipo. Where? Nonapo e kahuna. And luckily, there was one still there who had ike about kakao. So again, we have to choose our words carefully because we just talked about, right? We just said, aya I ka olelo I ko kākau mana. We also said mana can be constructive, destructive, the olelo. So now we're making all this kakao. Is there commitment to akua? Is there commitment through ʻAUMAKUA? Is there commitment through kupuna? So, everybody get kakao and then they're watching and they're treating their own kupuna with ino. And then pea ke kahea ina ʻAUMAKUA me ke akua. You get kakao, you get huge kuleana. Huge mea koʻikoʻi I luna o ka poʻohiwi. You can follow through. Because once you hoʻomaka, once you start, you have to holomua. You have to go forward with that. And this reflects kumulipo, this reflects olelo, this reflects ʻAUMAKUA. The three great authorities that we have. But we have to stand in truth, ku pono, ke ia mau kuleana. Because pili ke ia mau kuleana I ke akua, ina ʻAUMAKUA, ina kupuna, ina ma, all the way down. Pili pono no. Cannot separate. Pili mau no, forever and ever. Pili maua mau. Then, maybe if you get some sickness like abuse and anger and destructive kinds of abuses, and maybe you're not following the way of the ʻAUMAKUA, which is the pono. Hana I ka pono, olelo I ka pono, noʻonoʻo I ka pono. Ka hana ana la e pili ana no ke au o na ʻAUMAKUA. No ka mea ina makamake oe hoʻokomo I ke au o na ʻAUMAKUA, ma hope o ka haʻule iho ana. Yeah? Then you have to be in the au now. What I said was, in death, you go through the au, the leina, right? The enlightenment. But the au, the enlightenment starts in this life right here. Your au starts with you. Wear your light. Because if you intend to go in the light of the ʻAUMAKUA, you got to start lighting that lao right now. That's why we call it the au. You don't wait till you haule iho and you think, oh, the light going to show up for you. Oh my goodness. You have to start your light now. In this life. Your pono is your au. And if you no more pono au e pio ia ke au, no more the light. How are you going to holomua? Ke kumulipo, ke kahi, ka olelo ke kahi, na ʻAUMAKUA ke kahi o na mea kukahi I pili ana no, na Hawaii. We have three things. We have to know, understand, perpetuate, and follow. Because if we're not going to follow our true way, our own way, then we just putata. And that's why nobody can pilivi ia mai mako. That's my telephone. Let it go. So, food for thought. Vahi ina mono no ka noʻonoʻo ana. The pili na mina ʻAUMAKUA is the channel for communication. That is an important channel because it allows for the akaku, the visions, the ho'ailona, the omens and the portents, the ulaleo, the spirit voices. It allows for that kind of communication. Iloko o ka moi uhane that comes in dreams. All of these things manifest through the relationship with ʻAUMAKUA. They are strengthened because of the pono that we have with our ʻAUMAKUA. So I'm going to end today's lecture with another story. Mo'olelo, yeah? Because our class is mele mo'olelo, a meke kuhi ana o kalima. So one day, I was sitting with my teacher. And there were several people there. This teacher was Auntie Emma DeFries. And one of the women said to her, Auntie, how come you get all this ike? And all this ike is mana, your authority. How come you get all this ike and we no more? And my aunt looked at her and said, well, my dear, the reason is this. Perhaps if you had all this ike, you might be praying everybody to death. Wisdom is power. We have to be very careful with that power. And that is how I'm going to end today's lecture. Mele mo'olelo me ke kuhi o kalima.